Deuteronomy 7:18. Lo tir'ah mehem. Zachor tizkor et asher asa Adonai Elohecha leFaro u lechol Mitzrayim. So here we get what we would call the apodosis of the conditional, and we'll look at that again in the next video. But we get strictly here the prohibition: you shall not fear from them. You shall not be afraid of them. Here we have a call imperfect to ms of the root yara, to be afraid or to fear. And so what he's saying is you shall not fear them, or you shall not be afraid from them or of them. This is a men preposition with a 3mp suffix here. So those nations that were referred to in verse 17, you shall not be afraid of them. And then we get the positive command here, and this is fantastic the way this is written. Here we have a cognate accusative, or maybe called an adverbial accusative, adverbial infinitive, or an absolute object, all kinds of names for this. But basically what we have here is the infinitive absolute in the call, followed by the imperfect to ms. And so the way I do this is remembering, you shall remember. And this is a strong way of saying you shall certainly remember. You shall surely remember. This is what you are to do positively. And what are you to remember? Here's the direct object marker. And so we get the relative clause after that. We can supply the word that. You shall remember that which the Lord your God as the subject did. There's a call perfect 3ms of the root asa. You shall remember that which the Lord your God did to Pharaoh and to all of Egypt. So I would be amiss to not pause here for a moment and just remind ourselves that this says you shall not fear them. So we don't have to fear our greatest enemies, who, according to Ephesians 6, are the spiritual forces in the heavenly places. We don't have to fear our greatest enemies, but what we do have to do is remember and set our hearts on the steadfast love of the Lord and his work to us in the past. Look at this call perfect, which the Lord did to Pharaoh. So here Moses is telling Israel to recall and remember something that the Lord has done for you in the past, namely redemption from Egypt, and let that be the primary reason that you do not fear your greatest enemies. A very encouraging word today from Deuteronomy 7:18.